Hey friends, good morning. Nilay Patel coming at you. Now, I said I wasn't going to do a Tuesday tutorial for the rest of the year, and yet here I am. So, I always do kind of the opposite. But there is a purpose for why I'm here today, because I wanted to cover the techniques that I learned from Brenda on hammering. I know a lot of folks weren't able to get a up-close preview, so apologies for that. I do recommend that whenever I do some of these collab videos, that everyone is on a desktop. It makes the pictures so much bigger, and mobile is just not the friendliest for the collab videos because there's so many screens going on. So if you are at your desktop or your laptop, you're gonna have a way better experience, I promise. Hey Donna, hi Yvonne. I am gonna pop over to my Facebook real quick because that way I can kind of see comments and stuff going on. I hope you guys are doing well this morning and that you had a good Thanksgiving. And I'm also needing to share this too, so let me do that real quick. Hi Sally, hi Sherry. So hammering, real quick, my kits are replenished. They look like this. And these sold out in like minutes whenever I first posted them. I wasn't even really sure how many to make. And then, of course, whenever I did post it, it was all gone. So I decided to bring them back, got some more components from Vintage. So kits have exactly the same thing as before, luckily. And yeah, I love hammering now that I think I got a better appreciation and understanding of it, and Brenda had to help me work through some of that initial scare in the beginning. Hi Teresa, hi Greta. Would you guys mind sharing? Actually, I think I could do it real quick. I'm just gonna share to the Silkies and some wire wrapping groups and stuff. There we go. All right, good morning, Stephanie. Let me know if your box arrived for the 2-year anniversary. I know that was, I can't remember if you posted that or not, actually, if it did arrive, but hopefully it did. I know that was kind of a last week thing, so trying to get them all sorted out. Okay, so we made some really great wire components the other day. And not wire components, I guess hammered components. And I wanted to revisit what that technique does or how you can do it with the Now That's a Hammer. So I'm gonna create this, but I'm gonna actually add some beads to it on the inside and as well as the kind of top and bottom to give myself a nice long necklace. I kind of designed something the other night, but I didn't really get to flesh it out as much, I think. So today is all about that creativity. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Gabriella. Thanks for joining in. Hi, Tony from Utah. Let's see. Okay, so you're gonna need a few things. Of course, you're gonna need some hammers. Now, I love this hammer. This is the Now That's a Hammer. It is fully like a steel hammer with, you know, with beautiful design. And this isn't necessarily what you have to be able to accomplish this. This is just one of the hammers that I got to use from Brenda. This one has number 2 written on the top. And I used this to make the texture that was in this particular pendant component. So this is, again, included in the kit. I posted the link on the post of this video, and it comes with several different blanks to work from. Hi, Fran. Hi, Julie. It's lovely to see you, ladies. Good morning to you. So this contains a couple of the gold little drops here. And what's great about Vintage, which I didn't realize this was a thing that they do, is that they patina or have some sort of coating over their metal whenever it comes as a blank. And so whenever you sand it with their block or a piece of steel wool, it creates this level of depth and dimension to your hammered component, which I think is a fantastic attribute for this. So yeah, I am going to be hammering and sanding this to create this. So I'm pretty excited about that, doing that again. But you get this lovely little heart that's kind of tucked away in here to texture. You can get these a couple stars, and then there's just some round tags if you wanted to create this sort of dabbed, I don't know, this like, it almost kind of resembles a vintage or an old antique coin to me. So I thought that was kind of cool, especially when you sand it down too. So you will need to grab the kit. You'll need some sort of either bench block or work surface. I got this from Softflex ages ago, and they had cute little anvils on their site. But bench blocks you can get anywhere. Hey, Catherine. And with that being said, I think they're like only maybe 10, 15 bucks, depending on where you purchase them from. And it's usually just a large square metal that has really sharp corners, so you definitely want to be careful with it. So you will also need, okay, got the hammer, got the anvil, got the stamp. So this will be enough to create my texture. I also want to do a fun little, like, what I didn't get to do was this sort of round, I don't know, this round dabbled texture in the middle of my piece. So I'm going to try and do that this time around. And I'm going to do that with this looks like the number 3 hammer, which has a really rounded, nice, like, small head pin here. Or I don't know what they call it, a peen hammer, ball peen. And that'll create my center texture there. So I'll get this really great dabble look that will sort of then transition out into my more chiseled look. So without further ado, let's see if we can get this. The other tip that Brenda told me that I thought was smart, or in our video, was to use a pair of chain nose pliers to hold your design, or to hold your component when you're designing and hammering. That way your fingers aren't in the way. It's just a safety protocol. So I like that, and I'm going to use it. The other thing is to hammer a little bit more hard than you would normally for these vintage blanks. So apologize for the noise. Here we go. I'm going to go down one more time. You can see that my texture is coming out quite nicely there. I love that. I think I might do a little bit more on the sides here. I noticed that, like, I kind of went back on my original component here, and I did hammer extra just to kind of exaggerate some of the textures that I made in it. So that's something to keep in mind as you're doing this. Very cool. Hey, Juliana. Hi, Donna. Good to see you here. Surprise, catching you guys on a Saturday for a tutorial. Okay, and then so what Brenda said was to use our very chiseled hammer here and to kind of go along the edge and turn it as you're hammering. So that'll give you it won't look so rigid, I guess, because that's sort of not a natural way for, I guess, leaves to have that texture. So it's good to go along with the edge of your shape, whatever you're hammering, to kind of make it look like it's nice and, I don't know, I guess that it transitions out. So let's give it a try. As you can see, while I'm hammering, I'm slowly turning it. I'm also adding a little bit more pressure on the left side of my chisel. That's what's gonna give me my really deep ridge and I guess a very chiseled edge inside of my hammered component here. So. almost looks like little starbursts that are coming out, so that's kind of cool. Awesome. So now I'll just repeat the same process on this other side, but you can see how much texture I've added just with that hammering process. Fran says, how fun, get rid of aggression at the same time. It's true. And if you have a lot of stuff on your table like I do, there's going to be things that fall over. So I had to go pick that up. Okay, here we go. Second side. Oops, wrong hammer. Definitely don't want that one. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to turn this around, get a better grip on it. Cool. That looks really good. My leaf did warp a little bit, but that's okay. I can kind of just, cheat it back in place. But that looks really good. So the magic comes in whenever you have your sanding block. You use the most rough side. And so I got to figure out which side that was. I believe it's this side. And you can go back and take off that original patina, and you could see that the shape really starts to uncover itself. Not the shape, I guess the texture. I'm like at a loss for words today. It's okay though. Look at how much that just transforms with just the sanding process. So you could really go in there and, get all those little crevices and stuff and really make this a nice polished piece. Oops. So you could see from the back, this was like basically the coating before, and then this is what happens after you've sanded it. It is amazing. And I love that this was all just done with the ball peen hammer, and then I just did this with the chiseled edge. Again, putting more pressure on the left side of my chisel whenever I was hammering, just to get those really deep chisels inside of this. So that looks really good to me. I wish I had paper towel to kind of wipe. I guess that's what my pants are for. So now it's time to do something with this. So this was my original, which I love, but I love my new one much better. There's just something, I don't know, I guess it's a combination of the texture that really does it for me. This one, I just use the chisel for my center, so I get these really nice deep lines in the middle of my shape, which kind of help to, make it fold in a little bit more to make it look more natural. So it's really just up to you and whatever you want to do with it. So now we can do our decorating. I have some beads from Jesse James Beads. In fact, I have this little component that I'm going to hammer after I put this together. I found these in my, okay, so you guys, we all have one of these. I'm just going to show you mine. We all have one of these. We can't be ashamed of it. I'm not going to sort this tray out, trust me. But I do have a tray where I just kind of put in little bits and pieces with beads. And I don't know what else to do with it because it doesn't really have a home or a place. So it's like my little orphan tray. So I found these in it. And these are just little drops. I think I got these on Etsy, years ago. But they're beautiful little drop beads. They're just check glass, and I had them kind of on the strand. So what I thought I would do is pull some colors together. I've got these great sort of dark blue Jesse James beads. So I think I might throw that down there. We might do this over here as a little drop. And you know, here's the fun part though. We have a little hole up here. So what I'm gonna do is use my Beadsmith 1.5 mm hole punch, and I'm going to create little punches in here to hold all my beads. But I think these would look really cool if they just kind of tucked away in the center here. I think it would give it a really nice texture and extra design element. So I'm gonna try and wire wrap those into this area. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and punch our design. And I'm going to do this rather organically, I think. And vintage brass components are very soft. So here I'm just going to kind of ballpark, I guess, for lack of a better term, and put my first hole there. So now I just need to slip it off. You could see that that first hole was probably about the same size as that one anyway, so that worked out pretty well. Do you guys remember last time, like, I didn't realize, like, how this worked because I was, like, trying to unscrew it. Or no, I didn't even know I had it screwed. And this was, like, longer preventing me from doing a punch at all. And so I was getting frustrated while being live on cam. We all learn from our silly little mistakes. So, but the good news is I can hole punch now, so that's awesome. I'm glad I did not have to throw it away. Okay, so I just put another hole, maybe a centimeter or so below that one, and I'm gonna do the same thing down here, just in the center of my leaf. So that'll give me the space that I need to create my little wire wrap beads through. So that'll be fun. You can see the holes right there. Oh, Donna says now you need to get into using a torch with your copper. Oh, honey, I wish, but me and a torch is dangerous. I think I'm too klutzy for a torch. Unless I were like in a proper, I don't know, a proper studio where I have space. But at the moment, I'm just doing this in my house, so I kind of have to be a little careful. It's a good thought, though. All right, so I'm going to grab, because I'm using vintage brass, gotta do the vintage, it's not really vintage, I guess, a vintage bronze. It's really fun, though. I know, Donna, I know. I might do that one day, again, when I've got, maybe I'll do a class or something. That way I can kind of ease into it. But I can imagine that using fire and the torch would be a lot of fun. Hi, Leanne. I didn't see you pop into our video today, so it's good to see you this morning. Okay, so I'm using 24 gauge craft wire as well as 20 gauge. So these will be used to wrap my beads on either end. And then I'm going to use this thinner wire to wrap my little top drilled check glass beads in the center here. So let's start with that. Mostly because I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, because I want to do a nice clean wrap, obviously, just to make sure that it's all, put together in a very professional way. So what I'm thinking is that, so let me go ahead and cut this. I think I really just need a foot of this to work with from the beginning. If I do this and secure it on the back, my fear is that I would probably have it snag on a piece of clothing or something if it's tucked away there. So I don't think I want to tuck it away in there. So I'm gonna bring these out. And you know what? I could probably do a little like wrap here at the end whenever I secure it, and that would help with that. Now, the other thing that we could do is stitch it out through this way and then secure it at the end. So there's a multitude of ways that we could really do this. Ooh, you know what though? If we have the wire come out up here, we could go ahead and secure our other beads at the same time. So we might not even need the 20 gauge wire. Some of this is just a little bit of thought process and thinking through how we're going to do this. Which is fine, it's part of the process, right? So that might actually work. Let's give that a try and see where we end up. Why not? Hi, Brenda. Brenda, if you wouldn't mind posting a link to where folks can find your hammer and they can find your blog, which folks need to sign up for. Brenda's always got something to say. Something good to teach us, though. You taught me how to hammer and do all this polishing and stuff, so now I get to relay that information to our silkies. So thank you for that. This is actually going to be a gift for someone, so I'm a little bit more particular about what I'm doing with it too. But you see how, like, that's just gonna look super cool. All right, so I'm excited about this, about where this is gonna go. Hi, Kelly, good morning. And maybe, looks like I could fit one more. And again, just because I want it super clean on the back, that's why I did this top stitch through here. So I think I'm gonna do that on this side too. You could really add anything, but I really love how like iridescent and rainbow these are up here. I think crystals would look really nice too. So there we go. Okay, I'm gonna stitch up through this. I think what I'm gonna do in thinking about this is I'm gonna add a single bead to kind of make it nice and secure here at the bottom. And then what I'm gonna do is use my 20 gauge to secure the other beads. So that should give me that nice variety of different wire gauges, but also that security that I'm looking for. There we go. That took a little bit of finagling, but here we are. That looks really cool. I dig that. And you could see that beautiful work that we did through the beads too, and to like be able to appreciate how that transitions out. You could even make a pea pod, says Leanne. So true, girl. That would be really awesome. Especially, yeah, if you just folded this over even more, you could definitely do like a little like pea pod and just have even bigger beads that kind of stick out through it. That would be really neat. Okay, so I think we wanted to do a little tiny bead up here. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm trying to think. Because what I wanna do is secure it to where it's not gonna bend outward. So that way, therefore, I'm gonna probably have to coil back through my bead and then coil around this way and then kind of stick it back through this way and then coil back up. Okay, so I think I have a plan. Bear with me here, you guys. All right, so I've added my bead on. So I'm going to do a nice little wire wrap loop. Just using my round nose pliers to do that. Okay. Might have to give myself a little bit more room. Thanks, Brenda, for posting those links. I've actually got my Facebook and this video pulled up on my computer so I can kind of see what's going on as you guys are posting. So do feel free to leave me a question or comment this morning, and I will more than likely be able to read it now that I've got both devices going here. Linda says this looks really beautiful, Nile. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. I'm digging this. I'm digging this too. All right, what I think I'm gonna do is just actually coil this around to where it kind of meets to the backside, and I'm gonna pull this back through the backside. So this is wire, so you kind of have to just work with it for a little bit to get it to form the way that you want it to. But when it does form, it looks so good. Okay, so that looks really good. I'm gonna pull my wire back around, and what I'm gonna do now is actually just coil this on the bottom part. So now I have it anchored at the bottom there. See, it's not gonna flip up or down on me. And super secure, so I can trim it and kind of just tuck that away. So it's super secure. It is a little decorative, which we all love. And I'm gonna repeat the same thing on this other side. And now that I know what I'm doing, I think I can talk it out with you guys a little bit better. One thing I do want to do is actually go back and kind of fix this, because I'm OCD about it. So I kind of want to just nice and straight little wire there. There we go. See how clean that looks though? I think that that's such a great little add-on professional touch to make sure your work looks nice all the way around. All right, so giving myself a little bit of slack. Leave yourself about 1 millimeter or 2 here at the bottom whenever you're doing your wire wrap. Or for the wire wrapping at least, and then go back in and press that down. So really I've left, my bead is about 4 millimeters, and so I'm leaving like a total of maybe 6 millimeter, 7, if you're generous, of wire in total for my bead to be able to move around. And then I'm just gonna go back through and make my wire wrap loop with my remaining wire here. I like my loops to be nice and small. I don't know how we all prefer it here, but I just like nice tiny little loops. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it around a couple times, and then I'm gonna push my bead up and then grab my chain nose pliers again. And then I'm gonna go and wrap my wire loosely around the bead to meet in the back. Okay, so that didn't really require a whole lot of wire wrapping, but now what I can do is actually twist this up and then thread it back through my top hole there. So this should just kind of pop back into place. There we go, as you can see. And now what I'll do is I'll squeeze my 2 little wires that are going through that together. I can always go back and fix my wire wrapping, so I'm not too concerned about that at this moment. But you can see on this top side that my wire now comes out through the top there again. I'm gonna go back through and actually straighten this wire with a pair of nylon gel pliers. There we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna go through and wrap this, coil it at the bottom there. And now my component and beads are super secure. Very pretty. Cool. So once I've wrapped it a couple times, you can just trim it. And I'm gonna go ahead and tuck in my end there. If I need to go back and, fix any of my wire, I can do that at this point, but this looks really good. My wire wrapping isn't over the top, but it covers the bead just enough. So you can really see that I have, again, just a nice clean pendant. Ooh, Amy, first of all, good morning. And you said, OMG, love it so far. Thank you. Hi, Gail. Hopefully you're getting a nice up-close preview this time. I am going to go back and hammer another component, but I did this one earlier, so you can always hit this on replay once this video is finished, and you'll be able to see up close how I hammered it. Okay, so while we're here, let's go ahead and connect all of this together. And then I'm gonna have to decide what kind of SilverSilk I wanna attach to it, right? These are all fun problems. Let's see, what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, for this part, I kind of don't want anything sticking out. Oh, sorry guys. Forget how much my camera does not have the ability to see my entire table here. What I was saying is I don't know if I want anything sticking out here at the bottom, so I might actually grab, I'm gonna see if I have any head pins laying around that I can use, because that would be super convenient while we're doing this. And I'm digging through my stuff here. I've got some, I don't think I've even got any inventory. Well, shucks. Okay, that's okay. We can do the Sarah Ellis technique and make our own head pin with the 24 gauge wire. So let's do that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is grab my piece of wire. You don't need very much, maybe about 6 inches or so. And then I just grabbed the end and I'm going to coil it on the most fine part of my round nose pliers so that I get it nice and small. I just need to do that maybe a couple times to kind of give myself a nice secure loop there. And then what I do is, or what she does, or what she's taught us to do, is just to loop it back in and then push it all the way through. We might get a little bit of a kink in it, but that's all right. Just spread it back out and then continue to push it back in. You can even use your nylon jaw pliers to kind of tuck it in place. Let's see if I can do that real quick. Yeah, that works out really nice. So you can see that the loop just stops that wire, or it's going to stop the bead from coming through, and the wire just fits in nice and symmetrically inside of that loop. So basically an instant little head pin there. Okay. Once you push it against the bead, it just is nice and very discreet down there. So now I'm going to just attach it here at the top. And since I'm doing this wire wrap loop technique, I'm going to continue that here at the top as well. And I'll also know that my design is secure, whoever is wearing it, because my loops are wrapped. Okay, so you'll start the same process. Before I make my wraps, I'm going to go ahead and string this through. There we go. Perfect. And then just coil this on down. That looks awesome. Okay, so now I'll just trim and tuck. Oh, Mimi, hi, good morning. It's so elegant. I appreciate that, friend. That looks really pretty. I love the contrast between the metal and how like glossy the beads are. Something nice about that contrast. So let's see. All right, so I need to connect this top one to my pendant here. I'm wondering if I could just use my scrap wires to do a quick little wire wrap loop. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, just gonna straighten this one out, get it nice and workable here, and then I'm going to just put a nice little bend in my wire at 90-degree angle, grab it with the tip of my round nose pliers, and simply fold my wire back around to get myself a little P-shaped loop. Actually, it won't be P-shaped anymore. Actually, it'll be symmetrical since I've already put a bend in that wire. So now I can open it up, insert my pendant right through it, and then go ahead and wrap this around a few times. Depending on the size of that hole of the bead that I'm about to string through it, it may end up going through, which is perfectly fine. Really, it's just about that security of my loop there since I'm using smaller gauge wire. You could use the 20. I wouldn't recommend using it for the center part of it. Yeah, as you could see, it kind of just went right through, but that's all right. No big deal. I do want to make my wire, I don't know though. I think I've got a vintage bail, or not a vintage, a Tierra cast bail laying around. Unfortunately not my pile of beads there, but I might have one somewhere in my inventory that I might use that will probably hopefully match this. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little loop at the top. And if nothing else, I can always just connect my knitted wire with a jump ring. A large jump ring will do the trick. Perfect. So now I'll just trim this. Ugh, I love this so much. It looks so expensive, for sure. I love that. Okay, this is excellent. And yeah, as for what kind of knitted wire, I guess like I'm gonna go look for that bail later. But for now, I think we can match some SilverSilk to it. And I'm kind of thinking Storm would be gorgeous because look how dark my beads are, and it would pick up that last bead so well. So for the sake of the video, I'm just going to string this on to show you guys like how awesome this could look together. And then I'm gonna hammer out that small gold drop for you guys too. That'll be a lot of fun. Let's see. I think I need to make that loop a little bit bigger. So let me insert my round nose pliers through it. There we go. I don't know, I might just leave it on the jump ring because it's not bothering me. Ugh, there we go. Oh my gosh, isn't that so pretty? I love this so much. So gorgeous. So let's see what everyone is saying. Brenda says, hi, Mimi. Everyone just loves Mimi on here. It's so great. Hi, Kathleen. I didn't see you chime in, or pop in. So, oh, what a difference a hammer can make. Absolutely. Okay, so let's hammer out this small gold component while we're all here. I don't really know what to do with this, so we're just gonna do, I think what I wanna do is just add kind of that stippling technique that we did with this one. And I'm wondering how the gold would look because the natural brass color is so kind of dark and stuff. Although I did do this one for the bracelet, so my little starburst there. But let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my ball peen hammer. This is the number 3, and I don't want my fingers getting in the way, so I'm gonna grab my chain nose pliers. Oops. And I don't want my coffee mug getting in the way. So let's do this. Okay, here we go, you guys. Very easy, I will say. Okay, I'm gonna turn my component around and I'm just gonna hammer out this top part. And I just went right up to that hole that's at the top. So now I can take my sanding block, again, going with the rough side. You might have to kind of, well, actually here, I'm gonna do this. Much easier. If I have some sort of surface to sand it on, makes it really easy. But you can see that those little stipples that I just put in are starting to stick out. Very cool and easy to do, I promise. But I love that. I wish I had a second one to do, but I packed them all in my kits. So sadly, I don't know what to do with this though. You know what I could do? I could do like a mini, like, oh, I don't know. There's that. I would love to just do an earring with that, but I can't just do one. I got to do two. So, but I only really had the one to demonstrate and show you guys how easy it is to sand it down and to finish it. But having said that, and I did make this in front of you guys too, so I think that was super special. You can use a piece of steel wool. I think it was a fine grit. 0 is, I believe, what Brenda mentioned the other day. And you can grab the steel wool, grab the kit, the designer kit. These are all replenished on the website. I made a limited quantity. I posted the link on this video post as well, so you can find it pretty easily. And then give yourself a hammer and a day to just like put stuff together, because I'm delighted to give this to someone. Hopefully they won't watch this video and see what I made for them already. And maybe they will, but you never know. It's my family and they never watch my videos, so it's fine. But that'll be, oh, it's 00. Thank you, Brenda. Oh, you said that I could just do a mismatched earring. I don't know why that's a hard word for me to say. Mismatched earring. That's a good idea, especially if I have another gold component that's maybe not the same shape, but it could be like if I took back the star or whatever, and maybe do that with it, with some of the same beads and stuff. That would look really cute. That's a really good idea. There's always, you have found ways to like recycle things into the best, most designery ideas, so I appreciate that about your creativity. Okay, you guys, thanks for hanging out with me this Saturday morning, and I don't know, if I get like inspired or if I come up with something else, I might just hop on randomly. But I'm not doing the formal Tuesday Tooth just because the evening hours are a little bit harder with, I think, the lighting and just with stuff going on too in the backgrounds. I've got like a lot of inventory and stuff that's happening. So so if I pop on again, it'll be during the day and very spontaneous. But if nothing else, you guys will see me on our 2-year anniversary extravaganza that's going to happen in December, in mid-December. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then I'll be at Destination North Pole with Jesse James Beads as well. So for those of you who signed up for both or either events, you'll see a lot of me, trust me. You'll get sick of me. So go hammer, have some fun. I hope that tutorial was extremely useful for you, and I got to make my gift at least for my friends, so I'm glad I got to do that with you guys. And you can find Brenda on her website, Brenda Jewelry, I believe is her Facebook, and from there you can definitely sign up for her blog. You can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, obviously, and YouTube. And if you're over on YouTube, please do subscribe and keep that channel going. I will be uploading this video that showed the up-close version of hammering there. So if you're wanting to catch the replay, that would be a great place to do it. All right, y'all. Hey, Trisha. I don't think I got to say hi to you earlier, or Debbie or Rachel. So hi, ladies, and good morning. But, and goodbye, I guess. But you can catch the replay. It's all there. All the fun stuff that I did there is there. So, alrighty, guys. Have a great rest of the day and weekend, and I will catch you again soon. And I love all of you. Mwah. See ya.